Today's episode is sponsored by FitIt, the ultimate non-energy drink for training and recovery. Oh, that's a good little feature you've got going. It's different.
It's good, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so how's the angle?
You look bigger than me.
Just taller. Alright, welcome everybody to a brand new episode of the Coastal Fitness Podcast, and I have my good friend by my side, Mr. Alex Younger. Good to see you today. How have you been?
Very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
Very good, thank you. I want to start by talking about, could you give us a quick resume of how Bali went? So you participated in the Asia Championships.
Yes.
You got second place, congratulations for that,
Thank you
by the
very
way.
much. Yes, it went well. Turns out I need to swim a little bit more, but all in all it went well. The workouts themselves, I couldn't have gone any harder. I mean, you know how I train and how I approach workouts. I came out hot on most of the workouts. They went really well. I won quite a few of the workouts. I won the snatch workout, which we all know is the most important out of all of them. But yes, just need to swim a little bit more.
Yeah,
just not very good at swimming.
So, you know, I've met a couple of athletes in my life, and when I compare you to other athletes, you have a completely different mindset and approach to training.
Yep.
So let's say, for example, if I compare you to Ant, let's say he's very structured, very serious about things, and you're like more about having fun, but still you're kicking ass. So how do you find your balance, or what's your approach towards the training?
For me, it's just my results come from intensity, and my results come from training with intensity, and that can be whether that's class, whether that's training with you and we're doing movement drills, whether I'm training with Ant and trying to beat him, trying being the main word. I think for me, as long as I'm going hard and I'm enjoying it, then I'm happy. I don't necessarily need to have a specific thing that I'm doing that day, but as long as I'm enjoying it, I'm happy. I've been doing CrossFit for most of my life, so as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I need structure, otherwise I go off on a tangent and I never come back. Which is why I have a coach. But making sure that I am enjoying it on a day-to-day basis is the main thing.
Nice.
Otherwise, you get a year in and your goals change.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it's always been the same.
And what is that?
Enjoy training, and enjoy training on a day-to-day basis. Now, whether that leads me to competing at regionals or whether that leads me to just doing what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, as long as I'm having fun and I'm enjoying it, then that's the main thing.
Yeah. So that is really interesting. In my opinion, is that you've been able to take a step back and have a look at the bigger picture and see the importance of other stuff in your life, like you value your family, your dog, all the rest in your life. So it's amazing how you perceive it.
It's that whole balance thing. Eventually, I mean, we all get old. And being an athlete's great for a certain period of time, but it's whether that's going to, longevity wise, that's going to put you in a position to keep doing it. And I think if you're an athlete in CrossFit, your life expectancy, let's say in CrossFit, isn't particularly that long.
Absolutely true.
You have 1 or 2 years to peak and get to where you need to do, and then at that point something breaks and then you end up back down at the bottom of the scale. Whereas for me, I want to be doing this stuff when I'm 50, 60, 70, I'll be that old dude lifting in the gym.
Nice. So you have like a long-term approach to this thing.
Yeah, I started a long time ago, and it's just something I want to keep doing long-term, whether that's 4 years, 5 years, 20 years.
So have you always had this approach, or when did things change for you where you shifted your approach?
Good question. If you met me a few years ago, I would say I was a lot more dedicated to trying to be the best athlete I could, and that was everything from food, sleep, recovery, like neglecting other parts of my life in terms of like social aspects and stuff, and I was just focused on training. But you burn out very fast, and you end up picking up injuries and stuff. Whereas I feel like if you can balance, let's say, your regular life with your gym life, I ended up getting fitter when I wasn't so focused on training in all of the things that go with it. Like, I'm a lot fitter now and a lot more well-rounded now than where I've ever been. In terms of mindset and approach and all of that good stuff.
That's amazing. So you've been training for a long time. You've you've seen how the sport has evolved and developed. Where do you think it's heading? What do you think is going to happen?
That's a good question, because with the changes to the season, I feel like they're taking it back to the affiliates. Let's say we're talking about CrossFit, but let's say the affiliates and the gyms are now the most important, and that's what they're focused on, which is awesome to see. And that makes somebody like myself a lot more happy when it's not competition focused. Like regionals is cool, the games is cool, but that's only like 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the year is more important to me, and that's the way I look at it. I don't enjoy training. I don't enjoy competing as much as I enjoy training. Like I love the day-to-day stuff, the grind on the day-to-day.
Yeah.
I'm not so interested in competing. It's fun, I enjoy it, but it's not what drives me.
Absolutely, that's very interesting, because I remember, I don't know if you said this, and I'm paraphrasing you probably, but I remember you saying like, I don't want to look back, because I feel like you realize that time is precious and valuable, and I think you said something like, oh, I don't want to look back and realize that I didn't have fun at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Could you like speak more on that?
Yeah, so you see people, and again, most of us started training because we enjoyed the feeling that it gave us, or the way that we looked, or the way that it went during that session. So I feel like along the way, when people get focused on competition, they lose that enjoyment in what they're doing. And they're doing an hour of cardio. Why? Because I need to get fitter. Okay, great, but did you enjoy it? Because in 20, 30 years time, no one's going to remember that you came second in Bali. They're going to remember how happy you were on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, so
and that's, for me, that's why I need to stay focused on, is actually like enjoying the process, trusting the process, I guess you'd say. little plug there. Yeah. But just making sure that I enjoy what I'm doing, and that's what's going to keep me doing it, rather than, again, getting caught up in the smaller things within training, getting a PR, going whatever.
Yeah. That's great. I love this philosophy of yours, and it's been serving you well. Now, like you're still super fit, like the fittest in Hong Kong, from what I know. So that's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's going good. There's no complaints about the way my training goes, and again, if I can enjoy it, then I'm happy along the road.
But do you think you could take it to the next level if you would put in that focus, or you think you would burn out?
I could burn out, yeah, 100%. And I've been there before. So when I was in Kuwait, the first 2 or 3 years that I was in Kuwait, I was training 3 or 4 hours a day on an endurance cycle, weightlifting cycle, doing X, Y, and Z, training my ass off constantly. But I got to the point where I couldn't keep that up. And I made a big change with my coaches, I made a big change with my lifestyle and my approach to training. And now at most I train maybe 2 hours a day, an hour and a half a day, and that I'm good with that. My body feels good, although I'm sore a lot because I don't do any recovery stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel good on a day-to-day basis when I'm training, and for me that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where do you see yourself, let's say, in 5 years from now as an athlete? Or do you look that far ahead, or not really? Have you thought about it as an athlete?
5 years.
Do you take it? Yeah.
5 years from now, I probably honestly will have moved on. I think transit-wise, 3 or 4 years in most places I've been is my limit when I'm moving around. 5 years time, maybe I've tried to make it to the games.
Yeah,
we'll see where the season goes. This season I'm kind of taking as not an off season, but I'm taking it as like to see what happens. I'm not necessarily stressed about the Open or anything, because it's at the minute we don't really know what's going on. Whereas the next few years it should kind of settle out and we understand what the process is. So I'll again carry on training. I eventually want to own my own gym, so it's just finding a place and time to do that.
Yeah. So besides being an athlete, of course, you're a great coach, and that is what most of the time you dedicate to, besides your family and your dog. You dedicate a lot of time to that. Could you tell us about Barbell Club a little bit?
Sure.
Because that has grown.
Yeah, so when I first turned up, that was, before I turned up in Kuwait, I was not a barbell specialist, but for those of you that being around me, I enjoy weightlifting, I enjoy moving a barbell around. So it's something I've naturally fallen into in terms of my training. So I've naturally kind of built my coaching around being a barbell, not expert, but a barbell specialist, let's say. And I was kind of, when I first came over, Ed kind of realized that, and he said, look, if you want to run our barbell club, our old coach has left, you have full reins and you can decide what you want to do, whether that's a programming, the stimulus, the community, whatever you want with that, it's all yours. You can kind of do what you want. So it was given to me, and I run well if I've got a project. If I've got a project to work with, I run really well.
Yeah.
So that was like my baby when I first turned up, and it's just grown consistently from there.
That's awesome. What's your secret?
What's my secret?
I
think it's just, again, the same way I approach training is the fact that I want to enjoy what I'm doing. And I want anybody I coach, I want them to enjoy being on the coaching floor. So whether that's making them feel comfortable, making them laugh, the programming good and fun and enjoyable. Like, nobody wants to be doing 10 sets of clean pulls.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable. So you've got to make sure that the programming's set up so that people can have a good time, whether that's partner workouts or whatever it would be, whatever the stimulus is for that day, as long as the programming allows for people to enjoy what they're doing.
That's amazing, because what I realize about your approach is that besides having a structured program that of course progresses and stuff like that and has all the components that are necessary for a good program, you put a lot of effort into the atmosphere and the small things that people may overlook that have contributed to the success of Barbell Club right now, which is
for sure. And I think we noticed that a lot on Saturdays when we first started. There was obviously not many people coming up, but it's consistently grown, and Saturday's our biggest day, and I've purposely put team workouts on a Saturday so that you get the atmosphere that comes along with that. And whenever you've got 18 people in a room slamming bars and having fun along the way, then the atmosphere is good.
Yeah,
and for most people, that's something. For me, if I'm in a room where there's other people weightlifting and the atmosphere is good, the music's loud, then I'm going along with that and I'm having fun doing so. And I think, like, if we can replicate what works well for us and give that to our members, then that's what's going to set them up for success.
That's amazing. Like, if you guys are ever in the neighborhood on a Saturday, like, you'll feel it from the outside that Barbell Club is going on.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Shaking, loud music.
There's a lot of people slamming bars and having fun along the way, and I think that's the main thing is, again, being strong is cool, but being strong for a long period of time is cooler.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the main thing with Barbell Club. And on a Monday and Wednesday, it's slow paced. You get a lot of one-on-one time with myself. It's more skill development. Saturday we have our team workout. We have a little bit of a heavier day, let's say, on a Saturday. Every Saturday is relatively heavy, and we have a different stimulus, and it's always CrossFit related on a Saturday, which is it's fun for most people to turn up and do. It's hard work, but it's good fun. So at the minute they're going through their fourth week through a cycle that is involving a workout called Macho Man, and they're doing partner versions of it, which is...
So for people that don't know Macho Man, could you
explain
that?
Macho Man is every minute, on the minute, you perform 3 power cleans, 3 front squats, and 3 shoulder to overhead at a designated weight. Obviously there's an RX weight through CrossFit, but we're working on percentages of those athletes involved.
For 20 minutes, is that?
For 20 minutes is the goal, but we're building them up for 6 weeks. So on the 6th week they'll do Macho Man, but at the minute they're still building up to get there, because it's a nasty workout, but it's good fun.
Yeah,
and that's the main thing.
You've done that workout a couple of
times. Done it a few times, it's good. It's good.
That's crazy. All right, so I feel like you putting a bit of your own philosophy and yourself into Barbell Club, like that same approach of having fun, longevity, throwing around barbells, getting stronger, but at the same time having fun, community, I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I guess success is a word that I don't want to use, but that is kind of like the secret to success, is like making sure that it's community organized and community driven, and the rest of the stuff just follows in place. So if you've got a good program and you know what you're doing, but you've got a group of people that support it, then it's only going to speed the process up and make it grow.
Absolutely. And now, like, the classes are booked and people,
I
don't know
where a waiting list. I don't know where it's going to go unless we get another floor of another.
Like space?
Yeah, another space.
Yeah, maybe in the future.
Extra classes, I don't know. But it's it's good to see it go from where it was when I first turned up to where it's at now, and it's definitely influencing people in terms of their barbell capacity. It's cool to see to see that in the group classes and see that on the floor when people are starting to put into practice what we've been doing in Barbell Club, which is cool.
That's awesome. I have 2 more questions for you. One is from an athlete's perspective. So there's a lot of people out there maybe been doing CrossFit for a couple of years, they've been following you, and they want to take it to the next level. Which kind of advice would you give them from your experience, from your vast experience of 10 years being in the game?
Yep.
Could you
number one, find a coach. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, having somebody tell you what to do makes your job a lot easier, especially as an athlete, because you're never going to turn up to a competition and be able to do what you want to do. It's always going to be what somebody else wants to program. So find a coach that you believe in their philosophy is the main thing. I think that's a huge part of being able to kind of find your path in terms of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Finding a coach. Second thing, like I said, have fun along the way. Make sure you're enjoying what you're doing. And then third thing, make sure you find a group of people you enjoy training with.
That's awesome.
I think the last one is really important, because if you have a group of people around you that push you, that doesn't mean that beat you in workouts or you're beating them, but just push you in terms of whether that's your mindset, your training, they keep you accountable. Find a group of people that kind of hold you true to what you're doing, and then have fun along the way.
That's awesome. That's a great message. I have one last question for coaches out there that want to, you've also had a vast experience of coaching.
Yep.
A tip for them that want to step up their game, or something that they might have forgotten along the way in their journey of becoming a better coach.
I'd say you're always an apprentice in this game, and there's always more you can learn, whether that's the FRC course we did, whether that's talking about linear progression with Ed, talking about CrossFit with Ant, whatever it would be. As long as you're learning from other people, I think you're going to be and you're willing to learn and take things from other people, then that's the kind of the message to success there. Whereas if you're stuck in your ways and it's like my road or the high road, then you're never going to progress. And I think the more you can take from other people, think of it as like a big soup you're making. You can take a little ingredient from somebody else, a little ingredient from another person, and at the end of the day you end up with 500 ingredients and the soup tastes good.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, brother.
Thank you so much for this. I really enjoyed this episode. I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know what we're going to talk about. This episode is sponsored by Fit8. Make sure you have a little sip.
Get them downstairs, people.
Yeah, Stephen loves it. He loves it. Life8. Stephen is sitting there, by the way. Thank you very much, guys, for checking out this podcast. If you've gotta make this sound
so good.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe to our channel, and see you on the next episode. Peace.